So let's to get our experts in. Then Kunal Bothra joins in. Nitin Raheja and Dilip Bhatt are also with us. Gentlemen, good afternoon. Dilip, first to you, a word on State Bank of India. Are you surprised by the kind of reaction that we have seen on the stock? And what's your call on the stock now?
Well, I think the first cut, everybody was very happy about the results because the numbers were pretty strong. And I think this restructured asset, which is really coming back to haunt every bank, which is what we were also expecting. And I think that is really almost double than what we were estimating. I think it's going to be almost about 10,000 crores, if I'm correct. So I think that is something which is, which probably is not totally out of expectation, because we all knew that this were one of the last windows which are available to almost all the banks to do the restructuring of the assets. Now the worry is that this restructured assets can gradually spill over to the NPLs, which is what the major worry is for the banking sector on a generic basis. Having said that, I think State Bank of India, in my opinion, probably will not come down much from the current levels. But if you ask me, there could be some waiting period, there could be some small minor correction for 1.5 to 2 months. I don't know. But I think slightly on a longer term basis, on a risk return basis, I think there is a good 1:2 or 1:3 kind of a ratio on the risk return basis is what I think for SBI, where I think a serious money can be made slightly on a longer term basis.
Okay, so these restructured assets doubling is something that, you know, is concerning you. But Dilip, what about the fact that they've sold some of their loans to asset reconstruction companies as well? Optically, that makes the asset book look like it has improved. But would the fine print of this sale bother you?
Well, I think we all know that the asset quality is a major concern. Now, whether it goes into asset reconstruction company or whether it becomes a restructured, whether it, you know, all those worries definitely remain. And that is why I think we are still seeing a lot of apprehension, a lot of caution on the PSU banks. And I think those worries really are far too overwhelming as compared to the positive sentiments that it ever can enjoy. So it will bother me, yes, but I think as what I said, on an overall calculation, yes, we have broadly factored some of those things. May not be to the very specific whether it will get into the asset reconstruction company.
One of the stocks of the day clearly has been Britannia. Fresh high for that one. A great set of numbers reported by the company. Any thoughts on how an investor should approach that name now?
I think that stock still remains as one of our preferred stocks in the top picks. I think on the raw material front, a lot of things are, there's a lot of tailwind for these kind of companies for the FMCGs at the moment. And on the price realization front, they are still much better. On the volume front, they are doing pretty decent. I think the expansion of gross margins as well as the EBITDA margins, both probably will continue for some more time to come. I think even from the current levels, I'm sure the investor can still make about 20–25% return, because the free cash flow is going to be extremely good, and on the back of it, it continues to enjoy a very high ROE. So both of them continues to give a good support to the stock, and I think one should hold on if you have it. I think there's a reasonable return one can expect from it.
Okay, by the way, let's just pull out the intraday chart of ITC. That stock single-handedly has dragged the market back towards the low point of the last half an hour. And look at the intraday chart of ITC itself. That stock is now selling off. It's a vertical decline that we have seen on ITC. And my sense is that the earnings should hit exchanges anytime now. Ahead of that, it's a big fall that's taken place on ITC. And that's clearly impacted the market as well. The Nifty now back towards 8450 thereabouts. That's the candlestick on ITC. Clearly, as you can see, that the vertical downtick, that's reflected on that. That's the intraday chart of 5 minutes. And volumes on the way down on that large tick, clearly indicating that there's a bit of a sell-off that's taken place.
Oh yes, we're just awaiting the numbers. This time around, a double-digit fall in the cigarette volumes, as Pragya was telling us, will not surprise anyone, but it will still be the second consecutive quarter of a double-digit fall in cigarette volumes, and that's something that's worrying the street. But before we get the numbers, Dilip, just one word on ITC and how you have been positioning yourself on the stock.
I think after the steep excise duty increase, which was affected the budget, I think the falling volumes possibly will continue, it looks like, for one more year. And I think the price increase that they have taken will be barely enough for them to compensate for the fall in the volumes. So that is really going to be the big worry. So my broader call on ITC is that possibly it may stay around these levels, may come down by a couple of, say, 4-5%. But I don't see a great fall in some of these companies, especially ITC. I think at the lower level, people will look to buy because cigarette, no doubt, is the main business. It's the one which has got a 350% ROE or ROC, whatever you call it, and which is what is generating cash and which is what is really giving them the extra profits, whatever ITC earns. So from the current level, yes, it may come down, but on a broader basis, I would still look to buy that.
Okay, that's the fundamental call. Kunal, what's the...
Okay, so really, now, in fact, the Nifty is just about up 0.3%. We have 2 more minutes before the markets close for the day and for the week. So let's get some more calls in. The big gainer in the broader markets today, Dilip, has been Voltas. We were discussing how the numbers have been good this time around, but the stock has already given a 35% return this year. Do you see more upsides in that name?
Sure, I think Voltas possibly looks good from a long-term perspective. The numbers have been pretty good. And I think apart from the air conditioners, the other business, possibly there's a good amount of optimism, whether it is the earth-moving equipments or whether it is the textile machinery, where they are getting a fair amount of income, or whether it is the general infrastructure where they are really located. I think all these sectors, perhaps, there appears to be some kind of optimism, and I think Voltas possibly will be able to ride that particular wave also. So slightly, though it has given a good return, considering the fact that it's still a very good management and very well-run organization, I would still think that Voltas from the current level would really inspire me to buy, say on a slightly 1 to 1.5 year basis.